So it is Monday, April the 4th, and I got some things accomplished, which I was good. I'm glad about, but of course, there's a lot more to be done. I did yesterday get my jacuzzi filled back up so I can prepare to get in it. Still ain't came on my cycle. It's just late, late, late. But speaking of that, I've been watching videos about placenta, and I see how the animals eat their own placenta, and they, eat the, I don't even know if they eat it or if they just chewing it off just to get the baby out. But of course, from the sac and stuff, this is stuff that's new to me. It is what it is. I might be late when it comes to that, but it's kind of cringe anyway watching it. I don't like to see when like images and videos of when the doctor is digging their hand up in there either to get the baby out or to get the placenta out or whatever. I don't think that's what they did to me, but like digging your whole arm up in there, ugh. And I guess it can fit in there at this point in time because the baby just came out and stuff like that. But it's just, oh, like that literally makes my stomach cringe and like my uterus throb, and this makes me feel like my insides is ready to fall out. Oh God, it makes me cramped and stuff like that. So I don't like it, but watch that, and it was just interesting to see the dogs and the other animals just like basically delivering their own puppies or babies or whatever, and just eating the afterbirth. Um, so thinking about that, seeing that. Got to cut that grass early this morning, me and the boys, which I'm glad about. And so I've been watching these YouTubers again, just some stuff like leading up to one of them having to do some time or whatever, and it's kind of like it's kind of it tries to trigger me, I guess, but it's yeah, so it's kind of triggering, and it's just I don't know, mixed emotions definitely or whatever. I don't really like to see them going through that, but like other people say, you do the crime, you do the time, whatever, whatever. I have a similar thought process when it comes to that, depending on what it is and some of the details or whatever. But most of the times, we don't never know the details of things, so I just be like, let me not put my judgment on it. I'm not sitting in the judge seat, all that or whatever. But just seeing it, of course, it brings back the memories and thoughts about when I went in there for 5 days, and I know some people was like, that ain't nothing. I don't care. I personally feel like I shouldn't have been in there for a day, like period. I shouldn't have been detained. Um, None of that. So it's different when it's like that. It's one thing when somebody actually know they did something and they can, what I'm saying, they can feel like that, but I don't. I personally do not feel like that. Don't think like that. So then it brings back the just the memories and the thoughts, of course, and I mentioned it before, but I'm gonna say it again. When the boys' so-called dad was just like, "Oh, you got more charges on your record than me," and this, that, and the third. And again, you don't know how that stuff got there, and that right there just lets me know that you know what I'm saying. I guess at the time I didn't know and realize that he was. Let me get this. And he was evidently ready to do some criminal activity or commit some kind of fraud or whatever. I don't know. Um, that wasn't my intentions. As far as the type of person I am, I do feel like if something need to be done, we need to get it done. But I don't deliberately set out to do things the illegit way. I mean, that's just what it is. Some would argue and say nobody does, but I don't know. At this point, I'll be feeling like, no, some people really got good and well. I mean, they ain't well, but good intentions, deliberate intentions on going out here and just living a life of crime, should I say. So that's not me. I didn't know nothing about that. I don't be on that. But anyway, didn't feel like I needed to, had to, or anything like that. Like I said before, I feel like I felt pressure to, yeah, there was certain stuff trying to come up or whatever because I got children, this and I mean, I could use that as an excuse, but at the same time, life happens and things have happened that I didn't know about or pay much attention to before and all that. I'm not going into them details, but it just takes me back to that. Because I see her do like holding her down. They got kids together, this, that, and third. She held him down, of course, but and her time is just now starting. So I'm like, is he really gonna hold her down or whatever? But anyway, then I think about when he said that, and um, then I go to, of course, the time that I did spend in that jail cell and stuff like that, suicide watch, this, that, and third, whatever, whatever. That I feel like was definitely unnecessary. Did I learn from it? Did I take something from it? Absolutely. But was it necessary for me? Absolutely not. Was that supposed to be for somebody else? More than likely, yes. But it is what it is. And yeah, how he engaged with the female or whatever, just to go ahead and make sure I get locked up and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Ensure that something happens to me. Like you connected with somebody and and again, how certain stuff started out where his mom was even, before she died, she was pressing charges on me and it was false and it was fake. And I was just sitting here, like, I was literally like dumbfounded, or even like the Bible say, confounded. Like, we really can go out here and sit. And that's when I guess I had to realize some people just say that they're a believer or that they, connected with God, and they really not. Like, they on some other stuff. But yeah, so, um, and both times, it was something that was connected to him. Both times it was him. Like, it was just crazy. And before it was him, it was definitely my daughter's so-called dad trying to get me pulled into doing something crazy or acting crazy or this, that, and third. So he can call me crazy, deem me crazy, and this, that, and that. And I just be like, baby, one thing, I think part of crazy is you forget things that happen to you. I ain't forgot much of nothing that done happened to me in my life. So I don't care what y'all got to say. And to the point to where people don't even want me remembering what was done. Like I said, God removed that from me and from my memory. That's one thing. But for y'all to think that I'm just supposed to forget it, absolutely not. But so anyway, like I say, it was him connected to somebody or connecting to somebody on both times where, you know, and I still, I'd be feeling like, well, why would you want me to go through that? Why do you feel like I should? I don't know. And that's why I cannot put my finger on. I don't understand. Like I said, did somebody in my past, in my bloodline or something, do something to you or whatever? I don't know. So at this point, of course, I'm not trying to figure it out. Then it brings me to the thoughts where my so-called sister, she was just like, when she came and got me out of there, well, for one, I didn't have nobody when I was in there. Like, I literally couldn't really call on anybody. Um, but God, let me say that. But when she came up there to get me out, uh, she had mentioned that my daughter's so-called dad was at least thinking about, hey, I'm gonna go get her out, this, that, and the third, whatever. And yeah, and that, of course, I hadn't been dealing with him. I wasn't close with him. I wasn't cool with him. And I ain't gonna front. Like I said, I was thinking about calling him as well, only because I had already done did him the favor of like holding him down while he was locked up and this, that, and the third. But nothing else. You know what I'm saying? No other reason. But I'm thankful that I didn't have to call him, because baby, I would have never. I would have never been able to live it down as far as he might not have mentioned he might not have mentioned it like outwardly, but the way I realized that he would have been, it would have been on his mind, feeling like he did something for me. And I'm like, boy, ain't no way. Not that I won't allow people to do, I don't have a problem. But people that's not doing stuff from the heart, and they just, it's on the condition of you do the absolutely not. You'll never make me no type of slave to him, period. And so so anyway, so I just feel like it's different for her or whatever. I'm not saying that it's gonna be easy or anything, but and I thought about like writing her and stuff while she's in there, but I don't know. I'm real careful with that because for one, I don't want my name tied to the system anyway. It's just my heart. You know, you want to hold people down, and the Bible talks about when people are in jail and stuff like that. You know, you be there for them and stuff like that. So that's one thing. It's a biblical aspect as well. But for people to be sitting here saying, yeah, you got more charges than me, when this is the same person saying that kicked my door in to come in and get his phone. I didn't press no charges on him for property damage or anything like that. Then he hollering out, oh, you really love me. And I guess because I didn't pressure, no, I care for you. And I, you know what I'm saying? I definitely felt like I loved him, but that was not why I was doing that. I just didn't feel, for one, he, you know what I'm saying? That's my boy's so called dad. And at the time, I only had one with him. But, baby, you're the one that's, why do I want you to go to jail and you out here going to work and you you bringing the money in? Wait, what? And then, because that's going to take me away from it. If you go to jail, that's going to take me away from the household. I'm going to have to put my child on somebody else. And it's, no, baby. We'll work around that door. So that's what I was on or whatever. And he was on something else. And I didn't, like I said, I just didn't really pay as much attention as I paid to details. I heard him, but I didn't really like dissect it or whatever. I'm like, wait, what? That ain't what I'm on. So anyway, but it's crazy because it was so subtle. Whatever he was on and be on, you can barely. I personally can barely tell. Like I guess other people outward looking in maybe could tell, because I wasn't. That's probably why they was in all like, why is she around him when he like this or whatever? And I have my reasons. Like I've seen things about him that was definitely questionable, but I had my reasons, and I know, you know what I'm saying, I was secure in that or whatever, as far as why I continued to deal with him for as long as I did and all that. Um, Even had dreams where people were saying, you know, I don't know how she gonna get rid of him. And I was like, oh, there's ways. But and that was in a dream, that was not in real life. But yeah, like like that, it's so heartbreaking, I guess, because it's like that's what your intentions was and is for me. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Um, so so yeah, those things just come up or whatever. It was that, and then it was the fact that when he was getting locked up and stuff, he had relatives and stuff that didn't even want him to call on them and stuff like that for help, and tried to blame me and say that I was the reason why he was in there. No, he in there because he's misbehaving for real, for real. Like if you want me to tell you, he's definitely misbehaving. Now, why he's exactly misbehaving, I don't know, you know, all the deep details, but from the surface, I can see because I seen how his behavior was here. So no, he in there for what he did, his own actions and stuff. So don't never tell nobody that he can. And you know, and the person that said that, you know, I don't want to say unfortunately for them, because shit, it might be fortunate for them. They gone, they dead. Like they're not here to say that no more. That's another perspective of it. Like they're not even here to, you know, do that deceit in them lies or stuff based on either your feelings or emotions, or just trying to be a snake, trying to cause some confusion or whatever. So, you know, I don't know, it's been tough. But I really did get in my emotions and have mixed emotions. Yes, I still got this cough a little bit. But have mixed emotions about the girl going off to prison and stuff, and you know, and again, I'm not judging or nothing, because I heard some of the stuff as far as what they did, and it's got to do with fed stuff or whatever. I'm not really judging, but I don't know if they got greedy or whatever it was, but yeah, so I just feel a type of way. And then again, just how a whole thing just had played out regarding that. That was in 2020. It's 2022, but my daughter gone, you know what I'm saying, out my house and stuff like that. Like so much stuff just like try to trickle down from that, and it's like, I look back and it's like, is that worth it, baby? It is. I'm trying to tell you, it is not worth it. I love my kids and I value my children, my relationship with my children, more than chasing a dollar, trying to rob or anything, or you know what I'm saying, steal from anybody or anything like that. Um, um, I guess in a sense I was trying to get it like we live or whatever. I didn't mind. I feel like dabbling in certain stuff, but and I didn't even realize how much I was like, even that I was dabbling, should I say. I just was like, no, this is righteous. I'm doing right. I'm not doing nothing wrong, and that's just that. And at this point, I still can't really say that I was doing anything wrong. And I guess that's because I know that I'm forgiven, and I forgive, and I trust God that that I'm forgiven. But but I ain't gonna sit here in front like I wouldn't be looking sideways at somebody who did some of the similar things that I have done or whatever, or like I said, dabbled in or whatever. But anyway, like I said before, main thing is, honey, both of my children's so-called dads is criminal mindset, and I do feel like they were influenced, of course, by their, if you want to call them higher ups, but yeah, their parents and stuff like that. And so was I, but I just always seen what I always seen was legit. Now, what was going on behind the scenes, they just did their stuff. They kept it, you know what I'm saying, to the point where if they was doing anything illegit, I didn't know it. I know of one thing, maybe two. Well, I know a few, maybe a handful or less. But again, it wasn't that. I guess because it wasn't no major criminal type activity that I just didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't pay it no mind. But but yeah. So I know that was definitely products of their environment. As far as that, I just didn't know until later on. I thought, hey, you might know your mom or your dad did this. Don't you want to do something different? And that's what I was trying to encourage both of my children's so-called dads to do. And yeah, one seemed to be leaning more towards it at one point in time, and then he'll change his mind or whatever. Or even again, if I go back to the dream that I had, he fainted. He was scared to do it, and I'm like, why are you scared to do right? We need to do what's right. um, in the eyes of God. I ain't talking about as far as the world or whatever, but I'm definitely talking about in the eyes of God. And of course, that included marriage and stuff like that at one point in time. But yeah, we need to do what's right. We need to be getting approved, having God approve of whatever we're doing. And of course, I felt like I wanted that with my daughter's so-called dad, but we was young, and then I strongly felt like I wanted that, and that's what it was with my boy's so-called dad. But this is what it was. This is what it is. This is what it came to. And I definitely no longer want that and have that desire. I still want what I wanted, but and it's so funny because he asked me one time before. He was like, "Oh, I'm." He said something like, I'm the most important thing, or I'm what you want the most out of life." I was like, baby, I want my, I mean, and I told him, I was like, I want my marriage out of life. I didn't never say that